Welcome back to another rebuild I got for you guys here today. Today I'm going to be doing a realistic rebuild of the Cleveland Browns. Now, I just downloaded a new roster like a minute ago, and it has Michael Kendricks on the Browns, so this one's pretty updated. I'm recording this pretty far in advance, from when I'm going to upload it, so if anything happens between now and when I upload it, it won't obviously be here, and I'll probably have to explain that in the comments if anyone points it out. But yeah, I think the Browns might be the most improved team after this past offseason, considering they went 0-16, and I feel like they could be on pace for like 7 or 8 wins this season. I don't know, but let's get into this one here. This is the Browns roster going into this next season, of course, without the rookies, but Tyrod Taylor is their new quarterback. Not sure who's going to start, if it's going to be him or Baker Mayfield, but Tyrod Taylor is a very good quarterback. He's safe, doesn't make that many mistakes, and I think he's a pretty talented quarterback. Carlos Hyde is their now starting running back, I think. Because they also, they drafted Nick Chubb too, right? I don't know if he'll start, but he's a similar back to Carlos Hyde. I think they're both kind of power backs. And then Duke Johnson, off pace kind of receiving back here. He's a very good receiving back in the NFL for sure. Corey Coleman, Josh Gordon, and Jarvis Landry are their wide receivers now. Of course, Jarvis Landry, the newest of those three. I'm going to play him in the slot because I've seen him go off in the slot, and I want to see if Corey Coleman can do well at the number 1. Josh Gordon is a very talented wide receiver, just with, some off-the-field issues with drugs and whatnot. But I hope he can get back onto the field this season and play a full year and just really show what he can do, because he is a very good wide receiver. He, put on a clinic back in, was it 2014, 2015? Like, he had a great year. This offensive line got a lot worse since they lost Joe Thomas to retirement. But that dog is going crazy. That dog bothers me so much. It just starts barking whenever I make a video. But Rod Johnson is not a horrible replacement, but no one can truly replace Joe Thomas, really. He's a great left tackle. Actually, I wouldn't say he's great. He has a lot of potential. I'll say that much. He's a rookie. He hasn't really shown all that much, right? Because Joe Thomas was there. Joel Bitonio, very good player to get. I'm going to stop recording here in a second just to cut out for, this dog to stop barking. Sometimes he just stops. I'm going to finish the offensive line, though. J.C. Treader is a decent center. Kevin Zettler is a good right guard, and Spencer Drango is a pretty bad right tackle. So it seems like the dog calmed down a little bit, but David Njoku is a starting tight end for this team, and I really like him. He's a great rookie. He normally develops super well in these rebuilds. And then here's a look at the defense. I'm going to start with the secondary. Derek Kindred is a starting strong safety. He's played pretty well this past year, considering he's an 81 overall. I can only assume he played pretty decently. 23 years old as well. He should develop pretty well. Demarius Randall, if I'm not mistaken, this player, wasn't he a safety in college, then got drafted by the Packers, was converted to corner, and now he's back up to safety? I think that's what happened, but he's not horrible. Maybe he can develop. I switched around the cornerbacks a little bit. Normally, Brian Body Calhoun is playing the slot because these two guys, TJ Carrot and EJ Gaines, are higher rated. But from my experience with all three of these cornerbacks, Brian Body Calhoun plays very well at the number 1. He plays better than those other two guys, gets more interceptions. So I'm going to try him out here, see how this goes. EJ Gaines, a pretty decent acquisition for sure. He was on the Bills, if I'm not mistaken, last year. He played pretty well for them. Him and Tre'Davious White and, Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde had, made up a very good secondary. But yeah, he played well. I hope he can play well for the Browns again, maybe, in this rebuild. And then TJ Carey came over from the Raiders, didn't play badly there either. Michael Kendricks, man, I like Michael Kendricks. He was a good outside linebacker for the Eagles, but it feels like every year for the past 3 or 4 years, they've been trying to get rid of him. They've been trying to trade him until this year they just flat out cut him, which is a bit disheartening. But Christian Kirksey is the middle linebacker here. I think I might throw him to left outside linebacker. The reason for that is that I frequently see Joe Schobert in Defensive Player of the Year, so I feel like he might play well there. I think I'm going to throw Jamie Collins on the trade block, because I'm pretty sure I'll get a decent amount of value for him since he has quick development, and I want Christian Kirksey to play left outside linebacker anyway. And then on the D-line, Myles Garrett, of course, probably the best defensive player you can get in a rebuild. Superstar development, 21 years old, and, usually goes up to a 95 within year 1. Emmanuel Ogbah, not horrible, he's still young. Larry Ogunjobi's a rookie. Jamie Meter, I don't know how you pronounce that. He's not a terrible backup defensive tackle. Of course, they lost Danny Shelton, who was very good. Maybe I'll try to trade for a defensive tackle or something. I don't know. But I will, be back with some form of a trade. I got some trade offers here for Jamie Collins. What is being offered? A 3rd rounder this year, a 2nd, and a 7th. The 2nd's next year, the 7th is this year. A 2nd next year from the Lions, 2nd, 7th, 2nd, 7th, 2nd, 7th. Okay, a whole lot of 2nd, 7ths. I think I'm going to take a 2nd and a 7th rounder, maybe from the Dolphins. I feel like they normally play pretty poorly. The Dolphins or the 49ers? The 49ers are pretty decent now. Actually, I don't have a wide receiver core. I'm going to go with the Giants. I feel like the Giants do really badly pretty often in rebuilds. But also, let me mention that This roster seems pretty sound, but I found two players that I think are still in their respective teams who are now free agents. They are Sharif Floyd and Delvin Breaux. I know Sharif Floyd is a free agent for sure. I'm not sure if Delvin Breaux still is, but he was in free agency in the last roster I had, so I feel like he still is. Maybe the person who made this one just forgot. But they are both on the trade block, so it's kind of like they're in free agency anyway, because they're going to switch teams most likely. Sharif Floyd at least will. Not sure about Delvin Breaux. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that in case like Delvin Breaux stays on the Saints or Sharif Floyd stays on the Vikings, that's why. So we have a bye week at the midseason mark, and we kind of got destroyed by the Vikings. You can read down there. We are 5-3 though. Okay. It's not really what I expected to be. Steelers are 6-2, Ravens are 3-5, and the Bengals are 2-5. We just did get destroyed by the Vikings, like I said. But here on the offense, Jarvis Landry, I think, has the most. Nope, I lied. David Njoku's over there with 8.2 thousand. On the defense, Myles Garrett has 15,000 already. I'm going to spend that. Let's see what I can get him up. Actually, no, I'm not going to spend it. He's already a very good player. Normally plays well regardless, of his overall. I just want to see how much he gets at the end of the year. I know he won Defensive Player of the Week, at least once so far, so that's probably where a lot of that came from. A decent amount for the linebackers, 3K for all those guys, but the top free agent we have is Josh Gordon. I'm probably going to give him a contract. I'm sure we have the money for it. $59 million to spend. That's not a terrible amount. I will give you the contract, my friend, just in case I can't get a better wide receiver in the offseason. Jamie Meter, Chris Barker, Rashad Higgins, none of those guys I want, and I'll see you at the end of the year. So we did not make the playoffs. I guess we didn't really play well the second half of the year. We went 6-10, so we only won one more game after the midseason mark. 2-2 in the preseason, though. We started off pretty strongly, lost the opening game, but then won 4, lost to the Texans, beat the Titans, and then lost a bunch in a row, beat the Ravens, and then lost 2 more. So that sucks. We ended the season very badly. This was definitely a winnable division, considering the Steelers won it going 9-7. Tyrod Taylor, horrific season. That's just not even worth talking about. Carlos Hyde gets over 1,000 yards with 5 touchdowns, but a very bad season from him as well. Josh Gordon leads our, team with catches, 72. Jarvis Landry has the most amount of yards. Corey Coleman played terribly. What happened? Jeez. 18 sacks let up from Rod Johnson. Really isn't that horrible. Spencer Drango let up 9. Kevin Zeitler let up 1. Spencer Drango could have even let up more, the more I think about it, because I didn't notice he was actually, listed as the left tackle, and he's playing right tackle, so he probably let up more than that. But Joe Sherbert had 140 tackles. That's not bad. Tackles for loss, 13 from Myles Garrett, 10 from Larry Ogunjobi. We got 14 sacks from Myles Garrett, 8.5 from Emmanuel Ogbah. Interceptions, 3 from Christian Kirksey. That's actually not bad at all. 3 from EJ Gaines and Brian Body Calhoun. 2 from TJ Carey. 1 from Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett got a pick. That's awesome. And Joe Schobert and Derek Kendrick and Jabril Peppers. Michael Kendricks didn't get one. That's okay. Let's check out the touchdowns. Did we get any? We got 1 from Christian Kirksey. He actually had a very good season. We were last in the NFL in offense. That makes sense, though, considering our quarterback had 3,200 yards. And then 13th on defense. That's really not even all that bad. MVP goes to Phillip Rivers of the 15-1 Chargers. Okay, the Redskins went 4-12, but they still got an MVP in there. The Patriots went 6-10. What is going on? What team am I? The Browns. AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Jeez, I'm doing too many rebuilds. I'm just forgetting. Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe? Nope. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Nope. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Myles Garrett comes in second. I'm sure he's still got a ton of experience, so I'm not really worried about it. And then that was it. So that was a pretty big waste of a season. I'm kind of glad, it's like if we would have gotten those same stats but made the playoffs, that would have been horrible. Or went 9-7, I guess, or 8-8. I'm glad we went 6-10. I mean, I wish we could have finished in last and went 5-11, but 6-10 isn't horrible, I guess. But anyway, the experience, 10,000 from Jarvis Landry, I think is the most. Never mind, I keep missing out on David Njoku. He had 23,000. That's actually pretty good. He might go up to a 90. Then on the defense, 28,000 from Myles Garrett is actually a very good amount. No one else really has all that much, but I'll see you, in the offseason. I am in free agency here, $38.16 million to try to bring some players in. Drew Brees is the top free agent. He's pretty, enticing to go after because he's not a bad player whatsoever. Of course, he's a future Hall of Famer. Of course, he's not a bad player. But I think I'm going to try to draft a quarterback here. That's kind of what I want to do. Anybody else worth going after? Alex Collins is pretty good. I don't know if he'll play much better than Carlos Hyde, though. Jonathan Hankins, of course, is a player I usually go after, but I'm not going to here. Is anybody else worth going after? I don't know, because I want a defensive tackle. I guess I'll just let you know if I sign anyone. I'm trading up with the Ravens in this draft here, giving them the 20th overall pick, J.C. Treader and Ricardo Lewis for the 5th pick right now. And with this draft pick, I'm going with a quarterback. The first quarterback on my board was that Powless guy at number 1, if I can scroll up and show you. But he went to the Cardinals. I figured they would take him. I didn't want to trade all the way up to the number 1, draft pick. But Corey McDaniel is the guy I'm going with here. I know there's 2 quarterbacks above him, but He looks like by far the best one. Just making sure there's no good combines down here. Let's go with him. I feel like he can be a pretty good quarterback. 79 overall, normal development. Not a bad player. We did reach, I guess, from where he's ranked. He's ranked 27th, and we took him at number 5. But I still think he can play well. This pick is going to Jerron Montgomery. What I plan to do with him, I think, is throw him to a defensive tackle. He looks very good. Maybe if they're generous and give him some decent speed, I can start him at defensive end. I don't know, but let's go with him here. I think he can play pretty well. 77 overall, quick development. We took him exactly where he was supposed to go. I am going to throw this guy to defensive tackle where I think he will go up very well. I'm going with Houston Puzzluzny here. This guy looks amazing, but I feel like he might have slow development. But again, he's amazing. He looks amazing. I think that's worth it even if he does have slow. Great release, great catching, good spec catch with a phenomenal combine grade. Let's go with him here. 78 overall, normal development, does not have slow. 96 speed, 86 catching, 92 acceleration, but his agility 92, 86 elusiveness. This guy is very good if he doesn't come in and start, because I do have another wide receiver on my watch list, and if the guy I draft after him is better, maybe he can still play, you know, at like kick return and punt return and stuff. I have 2 second-round draft picks here, and I can trade them both away, hopefully for stuff next year. What is being offered? There's 2 second-rounders next year and a 4th this year. I'll probably take that. Let me see. Anything else better? I don't really know if there's anything else better. I didn't look too much. I just saw 2 second-rounders next year, and I want those. So I will take that for sure. And then with this next pick, I think I might take players. Let me see. It depends. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more draft picks, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players. Okay, so I'm just going to take them all and make sure I get all these guys. Heath Cook is the next player I want. He looks like a pretty good player. Actually, give me a second, because there is another wide receiver here that I don't know who. Okay, never mind. He got drafted. Doesn't even matter anymore. He got drafted. He fell down pretty quickly in the draft boards, so I figured he probably had slow. But anyway, Heath Cook is the guy I'm going with here. 80 overall. Okay, did not expect that guy to be an 80. 87 speed, 86 tackling, 83 block shed, 77 hit power. With 79 zone coverage too. This guy's really good. Matt Wilson is the next player I'm going with. He looks like a pretty good offensive lineman. Probably like a 77. Okay, 74. Still ranked pretty highly, considering we took him at number 74. And this next pick is going to be very similar. It's another offensive lineman here. I think he'll still be here. He actually might have gotten drafted. Let's check. Because he's a mid-4th rounder. He probably went. He did go. Not a big deal. Let's go with Rashad Swan here. Looks decent. 70 overall. Normal development. I guess we reached. He's very strong and has good tackling, so that's not bad. This is the other wide receiver I had on my watch list. The guy I was talking about when I drafted the first wide receiver, Frank DeGraffenried. If you long-term subscribers remember, I think I titled a rebuild like best last name ever back in Madden 17, and DeGraffenried was the last name I was referencing. It's a very good one. But anyway, this guy looks pretty good. He has a very good combine. He's pretty quick, decently agile, decently, can accelerate decently quickly, and has, pretty alright top 3 skills. What are you all about, my friend? 81 overall with normal development. Okay, I didn't expect this guy to be this good. 93 speed, 88 catching. That's pretty awesome. 94 agility, 85 elusiveness. I'm not sure which wide receivers to start here, really. I got 6 more draft picks and 5 more players. I'm just going to take them all. Harmon Stone is, the first guy on my draft board here. 6'3", 23 years old, out of Oklahoma State. Looks like a good offensive lineman. 73 overall. Quick development. Not the greatest stats. I mean, 80 run block is pretty average. 75 pass block is a bit below average, I feel. And 86 impact block, not terrible. That's actually pretty good. What am I saying? 86 is definitely good. I'll take it. But let's go with this next player here. I'm not really too sure who it's going to be. I have a bunch of 7th round players, but I think they're projected to go in different areas. It really doesn't matter. I don't really think it matters. Mid 7th rounder. I know the top 2 guys are late. These guys are both mid. Let's go with Zenel Holt. I don't know. Probably not great, but I'm gonna select him. 76 with quick. That is surprising. 89 speed, 77 zone, 91 acceleration, 83 hit power. That is super surprising. Did not expect that guy to be this good. I'm going to start him for sure. LaMarcus Compton, I feel like he's going to be the first pretty poor player we go with, but I'm going to go with him regardless. 72 with normal. He's not really that bad. 84 strength, 76 tackling, 82 acceleration. Pretty decent stats all around there. So I'm probably going to have 2 more draft picks and then a trade. That's probably what's going to happen. So Josh Groy or Christian Flacco. Who do we go with first? I'll go with Flacco first. 74 overall, normal development. This is why I was comfortable trading J.C. Treader, because I knew there was some, very good offensive linemen in this draft. This was a pretty good offensive lineman draft. A lot of guys with a 6.0 or higher combine. So that guy wasn't bad, but let's see if Josh Groy is any better. 74 with quick. Okay, so he's a bit better. I'm going to start him. And then I'm going to be trading away this draft pick here for like a 4th rounder next year. Okay, I see one from the Bears. I think the Ravens played pretty badly. I'll probably do that. Yeah, I'll go with the Ravens. They played pretty badly last year. I really like Christian Kirksey, so I kind of feel bad for getting rid of him. But the Raiders were really interested in a left outside linebacker, and I feel like this makes this trade sort of fair. So I'm giving the Raiders Christian Kirksey and Terrence Mitchell for Mario Edwards and Lolito. Lolito is just there for cap. I really don't want him. I might just cut him, honestly, right after this trade. But Mario Edwards is going to be playing defensive tackle for me. He might actually play defensive end. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I knew I wanted him. This is what the team looks like going into the second season. Made a bunch of different changes. Now our quarterback is McDaniel. I think he can play well. I at least really hope he can. I'm going to give Duke Johnson a shot at the starting running back position. See if he can play well. What? I almost said Weller. See if he can play better than Carlos Hyde. There we go. The wide receiver core goes like this. It's Jarvis Landry. DeGraff Reed is the number 2. I hope he can play well there. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. And Puzzlesny is the number 3. I feel like this guy's the most slotty kind of receiver that we drafted, out of these two guys. And I want to see what Jarvis Landry can do at the number 1. The offensive line, I moved pretty much every position. I think every position's different. Joe Bitonio is the starting left tackle now. Kevin Zeitler I moved to the left side just to try to bulk up over there. Flacco is actually a center that we drafted. He's playing there. Nope, never mind. Groy is starting. I forgot that I want that guy to start because he has quick development. Stone is playing right guard and Wilson is playing right tackle. David Njoku is now the starting tight end. And then on the defense, we have Derek Kindred still here. Holt is starting at free safety. Of course, this is the safety we drafted pretty late. Jabril Peppers made the Pro Bowl, and now he's an 80 overall. I don't know. Maybe if he makes it again and can go up even higher, I can start him. I don't know. Brian Body Calhoun is still the number 1. EJ Gaines is the number 2. TJ Carey is the number 3. I also threw Demarius Randall on the trade block because I don't need him, and he also has slow development, which sucks. This is the outside linebacker we drafted. I'm going to have him playing middle just so he has a better chance of winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Joe Schobert starting at left. Michael Kendrick is starting at right. This is the defensive end we drafted. He's an 85 overall defensive tackle, so that means Mario Edwards is playing left end for sure. He can fit a 4-3 scheme perfectly fine. 78 speed is good enough. 88 strength too. I hope he can play well. Larry Ogunjobi is now the backup there. And I think this team can do better than last year. Let's see what happens though. So we're 2-5. I think this team should be better than this, but the Saints are 3-4. We definitely still have a shot to make the playoffs, though, because the division isn't the greatest. The Ravens are leading it, being 4-2-1. We also just barely lost to the Steelers. The Steelers are 4-3-1. The Bengals are 3-4. And then, of course, we are 2-5. Quarterback has 5,000 experience pretty much. 5.7 thousand from DeGraff Reed isn't bad over there. 8,000 for Jarvis Landry is respectable. And then on the defense, anyone have a ton? 5.9 thousand from the middle linebacker, 3.2 thousand from the free safety. Don't see all that much, but Duke Johnson is our top free agent. I definitely want him back on the team. We also have Brian Body Calhoun and Mario Edwards. I think I might hold off on Mario Edwards because there's a pretty good offensive or defensive lineman, my fault, in the draft here. So maybe I might just sign him. We probably have a lot of money. Let's see though. Duke Johnson, I want to start with him. We have a decent amount of money. I think I'm just going to bring back Mario Edwards in case I can't draft that guy and in case he doesn't want to come in or something. Let's go with Body Calhoun, though. Get him back on the team. There he is. And Mario Edwards, how much money do you want? Really not much at all. Yeah, so I'll bring you back. You're not that big of a deal. Not that much of a burden. I don't really want Trayvon Coley or Demarius Randall. Nobody was offering me a trade for him, so I definitely don't want him now, though. Drew Stanton, don't want. Nate Orchard, I don't want. Okay, so I'll see you at the end of the year. So we did not make the playoffs once again. Didn't really expect to after the midseason mark. What was our record? 7-9. Okay, so we improved this year. Not by much, but we did. Came in second in the division, though. I think the Ravens won, going 9-6-1. 3-1 in the preseason for us. Lost the opening 2 games, then beat the Bengals. Lost 2 more. Beat the Raiders. Lost 1. Beat the Saints. Lost 1 there. Beat the Ravens. Lost a couple. 1. Lost. And then won 2 more at the end of the season. Beat the Steelers and the Chargers, though. 2 pretty difficult teams to beat. And then Marcus Mariota wins MVP. All right. I feel like he wins MVP a lot. 4,479 yards for a quarterback. 30 touchdowns, but 27 interceptions. That is so many interceptions. Good amount of touchdowns, good amount of yards, but those interceptions definitely have to come down. Duke Johnson did not play too well. I honestly take this season, though, over what Carlos Hyde did last year. DeGraff Reed had a great season. 101 catches, 1,049 yards with 4 touchdowns. That is a great season for a number 2. Jarvis Landry, 1,224 yards, 7 touchdowns. Puzzlesny, over 1,000 yards with 9 touchdowns. David Njoku had 5 sacks. How was this? 14 let up from Joel Bitonio. Isn't really that bad at all. On the defense, though, we got 133 tackles from Heath Cook, 113 from Michael Kendricks, 109 from Derek Kindred, and 104 from Daddy Nicholas. Did you start, or were you my middle linebacker? Nope. Joe Schobert definitely played. The Browns have a 4-4 package on defense, so that means the backup middle linebacker plays, which means I probably shouldn't have traded away Christian Kirksey. I wasn't really paying too much attention. That's my bad. I'm sorry for that. Tackles for loss, though. 12 from Myles Garrett. Only 5 from Jerron Montgomery. Sacks, 10.5 from Myles Garrett. 9.5 from Michael Kendricks. Where is Mario Edwards? 1.5 sacks. Interceptions, 4 from Brian Body Calhoun. 3 from EJ Gaines. 1 from Heath Cook, TJ Carey, Derek Kindred, and Zenel Holt. Okay. Touchdowns. Did we get any? We did not. Okay, so we were 24th on offense. That has improved from last season. At least that's good. We need a new running back, though, for sure. 27th on defense. That went down a lot. MVP goes to Marcus Mariota. Like I said, nobody from the Browns, of course. AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Same goes here. Nobody from the Browns. Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe. Nope. Okay. Offensive Rookie of the Year. It does go to our quarterback, though, so at least that's good. We also have Puz Lesney and DeGraffenreid Reed in there. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Heath Cook came in second. Joey Strickland won that. We got Zenel Holt and Jerron Montgomery in there as well, so maybe there's a decent amount of experience going around. I hope. The quarterback should at least have a bit. 32,000. That's not terrible. Any development trait? Nope. Okay, that's fine, though. We really need a new running back. I think I might try to go after Tevin Coleman or something in this offseason. Jarvis Landry, though, 13,000 experience, I think is the second highest. I also signed this guy in free agency, by the way. I never mentioned that, the Tooth Hill guy there. Let's go down to the defense, though, if I can. There we go. I went all the way down to specialist. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Now I went all the way back up to offense. This controller's fun. 13,000 experience, though, from the middle linebacker. 11K from Michael Kendricks. 8.6 thousand over there from Joe Schobert. 15K from Myles Garrett. Really isn't that bad. Maybe he'll go up decently. He will. Not decently. I'd say maybe like a 95. I was thinking maybe the middle linebacker would go up decently. That's what I thought before I said that. I don't know why. But whatever. I'm going to go to the Super Bowl now and, see who has superstar dev if it lets me know. And then I'll see you guys in the offseason. I have to bring back this fullback because I did sign him in free agency like I just mentioned. Might as well do that. Let's just give him a 4-year deal. He'll accept that for sure. There we go. Okay, cool. I'm about to be in free agency, though, so let's see who's here. I really want Tevin Coleman. That's the main running back I want because I'm sure he'll be here. If not, maybe Mark Ingram, honestly. Maybe we'll go after him. Let's see. Trey Flowers. I am going after Trey Flowers for sure. Says he's a 3-4 versatile kind of guy, but he can definitely play in a 4-3. That is 100 points. I think I might even go higher on that. And Tevin Coleman is not here. But I do see Mark Ingram. He is 29 years old, but I'm going to give him a contract. Let's see what kind of low ball deal we can give him. 66 points. I hope that's enough. Ronald Darby is also here. This is actually a really good free agency period right now. I do want Ronald Darby as well. I'm going to be pretty low on money, but I think all these players are worth it. 99 points. I'm going to go a bit higher here. Maybe then I can cut some players and free some cap. 105 points there. Mark Ingram, I hope I can get. I'm going to up this offer on Trey Flowers as well, just to try to make sure I get him. 104. I'm still not even comfortable with that. I feel like someone's going to swoop in at the end. Give him a good signing bonus. 107. I'm okay with that. And I'll let you know if I happen to go after anyone else, which, I probably won't. So we got Mark Ingram, did not get Ronald Darby, but we did get Trey Flowers. I'm okay with that. Mark Ingram was probably the one I would have been the most okay with him not accepting our contract, but, at least we got Trey Flowers. I really wanted Ronald Darby, but Trey Flowers is, a very good player over here. So I really don't want anybody. There's 3 players I want in this draft, or 4 maybe. So I'm going to trade away my first-round draft pick here, maybe for a first-rounder next year, which is exactly what I see there from the Redskins. I'll probably take that one because I look like they're pretty bad. Or from the Cowboys. Nah, I'll take it with the Redskins. So I don't really feel like trading away that much more because look how many draft picks I have, and I only have this many people scouted. This draft really wasn't that great, but this guy looks really good. Percy Murdoch. B+ man coverage, B press coverage, B- zone coverage, and he skipped the combine, so he's already a beast. Let's go with him. 81 overall, normal development. He was ranked 2nd in the entire draft. That is phenomenal. I am going to be starting this guy for sure. So the next player I want is in the 6th round. And I have 3 second-round draft picks, a 3rd, 3/4, a 5th, and then I finally get to the 6th. I'm going to trade away one of these second-round draft picks and then just sim, I think, through the 2nd round. There's another first rounder I can get. I'm just going to do that. I'm not really going to look too much because I just kind of want first rounders for next year. Usually, I'm trying to do this realistically, right? Just by realistically, what I mean really is just, no crazy trades, any of that stuff. That's kind of what I mean by realistic. But I always end up with a ton of draft picks. That's just what happens regardless of whatever you do. It's so easy to get a lot of draft picks. But Bakari Harvey, I'm just going to draft this guy. Are you good? 79 overall, normal development. You're actually really good. Not going to play at all. I just wanted to see what he was all about. There's actually a very interesting player in this draft. I said I was going to sim through the 2nd round. I'm not going to. I'm going to take this guy. He's going to be terrible. I absolutely know this guy's going to be horrible. But just look at this combine. He has a 7.8 combine at defensive end. I have never seen this before, but he's going to be horrible. I just want to take him. 72 overall, slow development, but like 92 strength, 85 speed. That's a very good combination. 81 power moves too. This guy really isn't bad. Obviously, he's not going to play though. So I just accidentally simmed to the end of the draft. I meant to just sim the round, but I hope they still snag the players I had on my watch list. Usually they'll do that. If you just throw a player on your watch list, usually the computer will draft them for you. So let's see if they did. I think I had 2 outside linebackers and like a defensive end. Okay, this is one of the outside linebackers for sure. This guy looks so good. He's not going to play, but this dude looked phenomenal. 21 years old, 280 block shed, 83 finesse move. If I didn't sign Trey Flowers, I would put this guy at defensive end for sure. This is the middle linebacker, and he has superstar dev. That is awesome. He is going to play middle for me. That is certain. And I think this is the defensive end I wanted. Yeah, he actually looks really good as well. I'm not going to start him. And then these are the rest of the guys the team drafted. Pretty good draft, though. So Justin Simmons was actually on the trade block. The Broncos drafted his safety last year, and now he's like an 86, 87 overall or something. So I'm giving them Bucky Hodges, Carl Nassib, and a second-round draft pick for him. Here's the team going into this season here. McDaniel is the quarterback. Of course, he's an 85 overall. Not a bad player there. Mark Ingram is now the starting running back. I hope he can play better than Duke Johnson and then, Carlos Hyde. Jarvis Landry is the number 1. DeGraff Reed is the number 2. And Puz Lusney is the number 3. The same wide receiver core we had last season. I hope DeGraff Reed can replicate his season from last year. I think this might be the same offensive line. Is Stone a rookie? Nope, he's a one-year player. I think this is the same offensive line then. David Njoku is the starting tight end, of course. Seth DeValve is his backup. Also, the computer assigned me Bucky Hodges. That's why I had him to trade. I just figured I should point that out. On the defense now, we have Justin Simmons, so the secondary looks a bit better. The linebacker core is, getting really good. Michael Kendricks is still here. Cook is still here, and Artmore, who's a rookie we drafted, of course, is starting at middle. This D-line got a lot better with the addition of Trey Flowers. I think he's a higher overall in a different scheme. I don't know, but a 91 is still good. Myles Garrett, of course, is still here. Montgomery and Ogunjobi are the 2 defensive tackles. Cornerbacks are Brian Body Calhoun, Murdoch, which is the dude we just drafted. He's a very solid rookie, and EJ Gaines is playing the nickel. So I think this team actually has some pretty good potential, pretty good upside here. They might be able to sneak into the playoffs. At the midseason mark here, we are 6-1. This team turned it around quite a bit. The 49ers are 1-6. We are on top of the division. The Ravens are 5-2. The Bengals are 4-3, and the Steelers are 3-5. I hope we can make the playoffs here. I hope we can keep dominating like we are. 10,000 experience from the quarterback is a really good amount. Everybody seems to have a good amount of experience. At least 4K for pretty much everyone here aside from the fullback and Puz Lusney. What about the defense, though? How's the defense doing if my controller wants to work? Might have to start using my wireless controller for these. But 7.4 thousand for the superstar middle linebacker isn't bad. 4.3 thousand for Murdoch over here. 4,000 from Cook, not bad. I want to check something really fast. Okay, Jarvis Landry is my starting kick and punt returner. Who's this guy? Okay, this is the running back we drafted. Alright, whatever. I'll keep you there. It's not really that big of a deal. Jarvis Landry has to be brought back, though. I was going to put that wide receiver there, but I guess he's not that great if he wasn't up there already. Jarvis Landry, want to bring him back. Give him a 5-year contract. Have him play until he's 31 for this team. Michael Kendricks, how many years do you want? That's not really that big of a contract. I'll take you. An 89 overall. You're still a very good outside linebacker. He's coming back to the team. Derek Kindred, another player I want. My safeties can't cover all that well. 75 zone coverage for Kindred, and then 73 zone coverage for Justin Simmons, but he's another player I definitely want to bring back. He had a really good season this past year in real life. Jordan Berry, I will bring back. He's a good punter. 6-year deal for Jordan Berry. Quick development for him, too. Not bad. The salary needs improvement. Okay. EJ Gaines, I want to bring back. This is a big re-signing period. The Browns, in this year, they're going to be, I feel like they might be in a bit of trouble. Corey Coleman. I really don't have any room for Corey Coleman on the team anymore. I guess I have room for him. I just don't need him. Seth DeValve, same goes for him. TJ Carey, don't need him. Tyrod Taylor, don't need him. Joe Schobert, I will bring back, though. Because he's currently my backup middle linebacker, but he starts in some packages, and he plays well. So I'll take him. Emmanuel Ogbah, I don't want. Spencer Durango, I don't want. Darren Fells, Daddy Nicholas, don't want any of those guys. I will just have to, up the salary of Jordan Berry. He accepted the offer. I just bumped it up like $0.4 million. So we got a first-round bye. That's always awesome to see. How did we do? 12-4. Not a bad season at all. The Ravens 9-7, Bengals 8-8, the Steelers 7-9. That is awesome to see because that just means everybody played well. All the players we got, that were different from last year played really well. 2-2 in the preseason. Regular season, won the opening 2 games, lost to the Ravens, then won a whole bunch in a row. Lost to the Bengals, won a couple, lost to the Steelers, beat the Rams, and then lost to the Seahawks. Okay, so we put up a lot of points I can see, aside from this game against the Seahawks. Everywhere else, it seems like we put up at least like 30. I think there's a game of 26 in there too. But the MVP goes to Leonard Fournette. He wins it all the time. He's such a good player to get. But our quarterback, 4,570 yards, 48 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Well, last season he had like 27 picks. This is a great sophomore year for him. Rushing, Mark Ingram, 1,336 yards, 10 touchdowns. He was a really good running back to pick up. I might start targeting him more now. 1 fumble. Duke Johnson had 11 touchdowns, only 1 fumble. Our quarterback fumbled once. Bakari Harvey, what a good name. That flows. He fumbled once as well. Receiving, Jarvis Landry, 97 catches, 1,600 yards pretty much, and 11 touchdowns. That is a ridiculous season. Frank DeGraffenreid, 9 touchdowns, not even bad. Puslesny had 11. David Njoku had 9. His offense seems to be playing very well. Only 15 sacks led up to all season. That's very good. 137 tackles from Rashard Artmore. I hope that's enough for Defensive Rookie of the Year. 119 from Derek Kindred. 110 from Justin Simmons. We have 13 tackles for loss for Myles Garrett. Only 9 sacks for him. He actually leads the team. Michael Kendricks with 8. 4.5 for Heath Cook. Trey Flowers only got 4. Don't know what's going on here. Anyway, interceptions. We got 4 from Brian Body Calhoun, 2 from Rashard Artmore, 2 from EJ Gaines and Justin Simmons, and Percy Murdoch, who's the rookie corner, of course, 1 from Heath Cook, Joe Schobert, and Derek Kindred. So, seems like we played pretty well in defense as well. Any touchdowns? We did not get any. So, we were 6th in the NFL in offense. I'm sure the defense was up there as well. 31st. Okay, never mind. But the MVP does go to Leonard Fournette if this wants to load. So it finally loaded, and the Jaguars won 16-0. Okay, but our quarterback came in 2nd in MVP. Not bad. Anybody else from the Browns? Don't see anyone. Colton Larson. Okay, it's a pretty good-looking player, looks like. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, of course, goes to Leonard Fournette. But, of course, our quarterback is in there, too, at number 2. Mark Ingram does not make it. Defensive Player of the Year, though. Dylan Cole wins that. Okay. A lot of Jaguars players in there, but we got Rashard Artmore in there, actually, at number 7. That is awesome. I don't know if this guy is a rookie or not. I don't think he is. I'm pretty sure Joey Strickland. I think he won Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. But nobody else from the Browns. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Riley Shea. We got Bakari Harvey in there at number 6. Defensive Rookie of the Year does go to our middle linebacker. Percy Murdoch is actually in there too at number 2. Nobody else from our team. All right, so I'm sure we have a ton of experience. I think the quarterback will have a lot. I got the quarterback upgrade as well. Let's see, 37,000 for him. That's good. I hope he goes up very well. He should be like a 93 or so. Groy made a Pro Bowl. That is always awesome to see. And he has superstar development now. That's awesome. He's going to be a very good center. Mark Ingram, 9.4 thousand. Not terrible. 20,000 from Jarvis Landry. He probably was wide receiver of the year, and he made a Pro Bowl. I thought he'd get more from that. Whatever. 32,000 from Artmore is not bad at all. 33,000 from Justin Simmons. He made a Pro Bowl. No one else has all that much, but it's okay. We have a good amount going around. The word for this rebuild is going to be a pasta. It's linguine, okay? So somebody suggested that I make the word linguine, so comment that if you would like to. I definitely appreciate all the support recently. I think I said this before in another rebuild, but I just want to reiterate it because I am very appreciative of all the views I'm getting. You know, I'm gaining subscribers, you know, faster than I usually do, which is always awesome to see. So thank you guys very much, especially if you just came over and you're new and you watched the rebuild. You thought I was cool enough to subscribe to. That's awesome. But anyway, let me get into this team here. The quarterback went up to a 91 overall. Mark Ingram, I think, is still a 93. Jarvis Landry is a 94. Groy, probably the most improved player, 89 overall with superstar dev, of course. He's a very good center now, one of the best offensive linemen that we have. For the defense, we have an 85 overall for Artmore, 88 overall for Justin Simmons. He went up very well, too. He has 88 zone coverage now, so now he's a very good coverage safety. Murdoch, he went up to an 85, so I'm going to start him at cornerback number 1. Brian Body Calhoun's moving to the number 2. EJ Gaines is going to stay in the nickel. This D-line looks really good still. Derek Kindred's an 85. This team looks very good in general. So let's see who we have to take on, and hopefully we can come away with at least one playoff win. That's always a cool thing to see. The Texans. So let me check out the overall fast. I actually remembered. I usually forget. We are at 92. That's not bad. They are also a 92. So let's stand by this game and see if we ended up taking down Deshaun Watson, who I, assume is still their quarterback. Did we win? We did not win. 35-21. I saw it in the corner there. 2-possession game. Check out the stats, though. How did our quarterback play? I hope he at least played well. 4 touchdowns, 0 picks for Deshaun Watson. That's almost a perfect game. That is phenomenal. Our quarterback did not play that badly, though. 377 yards, that's a lot. 3 touchdowns is not bad. 2 picks is not, ideal, of course, but still, if you throw for more touchdowns than picks, I feel like that's at least a decent game. Lamar Miller really didn't play all that well. 3.4 yards a carry isn't great. Mark Ingram ran the ball decently when he had the opportunity to. Dante Foreman got a touchdown as well. I don't know why I said as well. No one else got a touchdown there, but Will Fuller went off. 135 yards and 2 touchdowns for him. Jarvis Landry got a touchdown and almost 200 yards. DeAndre Hopkins got 2 touchdowns as well. So they have the Texans have a very good passing attack. Plus Lesney got a touchdown, so did David and Njoku. Alright, so that was a rough loss, but it's okay. Let's see who's in free agency here. There really isn't much that I would take, but let's check out who's here. AJ Green is here. I think he is definitely worth taking. Marshall Yanda is also here. I'll probably go after him and AJ Green. That seems good to me. It'd be nice to have AJ Green for, you know, a final season. Maybe throw Jarvis Landry back to the slot and have AJ Green patrol the number 1 and have DeGraff and Reed play the number 2. That looks good to me. Or I can get Sammy Watkins and have him play the slot. I think I'd rather have AJ Green, though. I feel like he does better in sim. Anybody else that I want? Aqib Talib wouldn't be bad because I can always use a very good number 1 corner. Anthony Hitchens isn't a bad player, but I like Artmore. He has superstar development as well. Reggie Ragland's not a bad player. Getting a lot of points, though. Okay, so there's nobody else here that I want, so I'm going to go after a few players, and I'll let you know who I got. So I got AJ Green, and I got Marshall Yanda. I also went after Aqib Talib, but he didn't accept yet. Am I the only team still offering him a contract? I am. 75 whole points there. I'm okay with it. Aqib Talib accepted our contract, so that's not bad. And we're about to be in the draft here, so I don't really have that many players scouted. I know I just had 263 scouting points left, but I just didn't feel like using them. I'm not really going to draft many players who are going to start. I have the 4th overall pick, too. That's really funny. Who should I go with this pick? I might just take some random players who look like they're going to be good. Buck Gould. Should I go with him? Pretty good looking left tackle. I might take him because sometimes backup offensive linemen, you know, make the Pro Bowl. Ladarius Bronson also looks like a stud, but he won't start. None of these people will start. But I might just take some of them. I'm going to go with Bronson. He looks pretty good. 81 with Superstar. That's actually awesome. He's not going to start. Like, I just don't want to start him anywhere. 95 agility, 91 elusiveness. I'll put him as my kick returner and my punt returner. Maybe if he makes the Pro Bowl that way, then he can start there. I think that left tackle is still there. He is. Buck Gould. Let's go with him. 76 with normal. That was a pretty bad pick, to be honest. But maybe he can make a Pro Bowl as a backup. I have a quarterback scouted here. He actually looks probably like the best quarterback in this draft. Gordon Roy. I'm going to take him and have him be a backup. 78 with normal, but 93 throw power, 86 speed. That's phenomenal. He is actually a really, really good player. So I have, I think, a few 6th rounders and maybe a 7th rounder scouted. Let's go with them. Fisher Vaughn. Okay, so let me say that none of these guys are going to start, but they're all probably pretty good. I'm going to go with this guy. 78 overall, quick development. He's not going to start. I might actually play him at backup middle linebacker because that position actually gets a lot of playing time in the Browns scheme, because like I said, they have that 1-4-4 package. It's kind of like they have a 3-4 defense, I think, but I actually don't know what they run. I feel like they should run a 4-3, but I was looking at the schemes and it says they have a 4-3 and a 4-4. Maybe they just run out of the 4-4 a lot. I don't know. But Taviozi Armstrong, what a name. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Smart guy from Yale. One of the best combines in this, draft class. I'm just going to go with him. 78 with quick. Like I said, none of these guys are going to start, but they're all going to be really good, I think. This other defensive, or outside linebacker, almost a defensive end, I think this guy's probably going to be the worst. But I feel like he'd actually be pretty decent as a defensive end. I'm going to go with him. 69 overall. He actually would not be decent as a defensive end. I thought that guy would be a bit better. And the last player I have is an offensive lineman. Again, I'm taking an offensive lineman in case he makes the Pro Bowl. If he's still there, I hope so. He is still there. Ryan Cohen. Okay. 73 with normal, but excellent stats. This is going to be the team for this final season. I actually have to switch this around really quickly. Jarvis Landry is going to be playing the slot. And AJ Green's playing the number 1. DeGraff and Reed is going to be playing the number 2. I have a bit of experience I might try to spend. McDaniel is, of course, the quarterback. He actually has developed very well and played extremely well last season. I think he can play better this upcoming year because he just is a better overall. He has better awareness. I pretty much just put everything into that. His deep accuracy still isn't great. Neither is his play action, but he's still a very good quarterback. Mark Ingram had a great year. I hope he can do that again. AJ Green, I think, can dominate. I think Jarvis Landry can. DeGraff and Reed has been a very good number 2. This offensive line was upgraded pretty tremendously with the addition of Marshall Yanda. One of the best right guards in the NFL for sure. David Njoku's still there. He's kicking. I mean, I don't know why I said he's kicking. He's not very old. He's chilling. Artmore is a starting middle linebacker. I put Vaughn. This is the dude we just drafted. He's playing the backup. I still feel like he might be able to win Defensive Rookie of the Year just with getting that kind of playing time. Justin Simmons is a very good safety now. Kindred is a very good safety as well. Not to say Simmons wasn't a good safety before, but now he's an 88 overall. Aqib Talib is the starting corner. Murdoch's number 2. Brian Body Calhoun moved back to his pretty natural position at nickel. I think that's what he plays in real life, but just, in sim, I just kind of wanted to play him at the number 1 to see what he can do. Myles Garrett, of course, is still here. I always point him out, but there's no chance I would ever trade him. Trey Flowers Montgomery, Ogunjobi, all those guys are still here. So this team should make the playoffs again. We went 9-7 this year. Not sure how this team did worse than last year. The Broncos, though, went 10-6. That's who we have to take on. 12-4 for the Steelers, 7-9 for the Ravens, 6-10 from the Bengals. Let's just run through the schedule really quickly. 3-1 in the preseason. Very up and down here. I mean, that was a decent win streak there. 4 games in a row. Not bad. But then, 9-7 record. Very up and down. Kind of just, you can see it from the record. But who won? Blake Bortles won MVP. Okay, our quarterback, though. 5,007 yards, 44 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. What did Blake Bortles do? Okay. He had less interceptions, but less yards and less touchdowns? Is that what happened? Yeah. Less interceptions, but less yards and less touchdowns. Let me just check one more thing before I move on. What did he do rushing? That Leonard Fournette play, actually. Oh my goodness. Almost 5 yards a carry for him. Okay, so Blake Bortles only had 1 rushing touchdown. Alright. Our guy probably did not do much better than that, but I mean, 5 interceptions, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. I don't know. I feel like I would have given it to my guy, but that's just because he's my guy. Mark Ingram, 1,208 yards, 10 touchdowns. Our quarterback did not have a rushing touchdown. Duke Johnson got 10 as well. Mark Ingram fumbled 4 times. DeGraff and Reed got 1,000 yards exactly, with 7 touchdowns. AJ Green, 1,253 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jarvis Landry, maybe it was a bit of a mistake putting him to the slot. I just thought he'd still play well there. 1,088 yards, 9 touchdowns. That's still a good season, but nowhere near 1,600 yards and 11 touchdowns, whatever he had last season. David Njoku actually almost got 1,000 yards with 9 touchdowns. That's a really good season from all of those guys. Joe Bitonio, 10 sacks is really not bad. 9 from Matt Wilson and 2 from Marshall Yanda. 124 tackles for Art Moore. Vaughn got 98 with a pick. Maybe that's enough. I kind of doubt it. Aqib Talib got 102. Derek Kindred got 101. Tackles for loss, 14 from Myles Garrett, 12 from Trey Flowers. Sacks, we got 12 from Michael Kendrick. So maybe he is, I guess he is pass rushing. I don't know. This is weird. I don't know how the Browns scheme works. Whatever. Trey Flowers, 6.5. Myles Garrett only got 6. Good tackles for loss. So this kind of looks like this is a 3-4. Maybe I messed up. I don't know. Picks, 5 from Aqib Talib, 2 from Heath Cook, Rashard Artmore, and Derek Kindred, 1 from Fisher Vaughn, Brian Body Calhoun, and EJ Gaines. I want to show you guys the formation subs then before I do anything. I don't want to... Well, I'll see safeties, I guess. We did not get a safety all year. We got at least 1 touchdown, though. Derek Kindred got the only touchdown. 4th on offense. What about the defense? That was this. 25th. Okay, a bit better from last year. So Blake Bortles wins MVP. We come in 2nd, though. Colton Larson comes in 3rd there. Nobody else from the Browns. Didn't really expect to see Mark Ingram in this. He comes in 2nd. Our quarterback does for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Joey Bosa. Anybody from the Browns? Don't see anyone. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Nobody from the Browns. Defensive Rookie of the Year actually goes to Fisher Vaughn. That's pretty cool. Maybe he can start now. Who knows? Armstrong comes in 10th there, too. Our quarterback wins Best Quarterback, even though Blake Bortles won MVP. Whatever. Best running back. Maybe Mark Ingram makes it. He does right there. Number 9, not bad. Who was our running back? Okay, it was Carlos Hyde. Did Carlos Hyde win it anywhere? Okay, I don't really feel like checking the NFC. Best wide receiver goes to DeAndre Hopkins. We got AJ Green in there, though. I'm surprised no one else from our team made it. Best offensive lineman. 3 of the Jaguars players are in there. Look at the overalls. 99, 99, 95. That's ridiculous. Then there's AJ Cann, 87. Nobody from the Browns. I'm kind of surprised. Best D-line. Nobody from the Browns. Best linebacker. I feel like Michael Kendricks could have made it. There he is. Number 4, not bad. Nobody else from our team, I don't think. Best defensive back. We got Aqib Talib, number 7. He was a pretty good acquisition. Best kicker. That was the Bengals. Anybody from the Browns? I don't see him. Okay, so let me check out the formation subs. I want to show you what I'm talking about. So, my coach, formation sub. So if I go over to the defense here, it shows as a 4-3. Right, there's a 4-3 right there, but then if I look at the different schemes, there's a 4-4. So I guess in a 4-4, it has people pass rushing on the sides. I really don't know schemes that well, so don't crucify me for this, but I guess it has Michael Kendricks pass rushing. He's not a bad pass rusher, though, so, I mean, he can kind of work it. But a 4-3, maybe this isn't called much. I don't know. But the defensive ends were kind of lackluster this season. I mean, Myles Garrett started off pretty strong, but didn't really end the rebuild that well. But anyway, McDaniel, 41,000 experience. That's a good amount. 16K from AJ Green, 9K from DeGraff and Reed, 12K from Jarvis Landry. Everybody in the O-line has over 10. 20K from David Njoku is not bad at all. On the defense, Vaughn got 31,000. He might go up higher than Artmore, not sure. Anybody else get a ton? 15K from Derek Kindred. Maybe he can match Justin Simmons at an 88 overall. Myles Garrett, 13,000. All right, not bad here. I'll spend this quick. Here is the team, going into this last playoff section. McDaniel's a 95 overall now. He's a very good quarterback. I'm glad we drafted him. I definitely am. This guy would have been awesome to draft too if we could have had him from the first season. I feel like he would have been about a 95 as well. I mean, Groy went up a little bit more. He's a 91 now. He's our best offensive lineman. He's tied with Marshall Yanda and Joel Petonio. Wide receiver core is all very good. Where is he? Bronson went up to an 85. He got some experience. Maybe he made a Pro Bowl. I don't know how he got that much experience. He did not make a Pro Bowl. I don't know what he did. But he had like 18,000. David Njoku was a 96. Artmore is an 88. Vaughn went up pretty well, but not as good as Artmore. Not as well as Artmore, I guess. Kindred, 86. Justin Simmons, 89. Aqib Talib, 88. This team looks really good. Maybe we can win a playoff game. Let me check out the overall. I don't think this is going to be updated, but we are 93. I feel like we're higher than that with all the experience we spent. But let's advance by this week. We should be able to take down the Broncos. They're normally not too terrible in simulation. Let's see what happens, though. We did beat the Broncos. I want to check out their record really fast, just in case it did increase a lot. 94. All right, well, not much, but I mean, the Jaguars are 95. Normally a really tough team to take down, but we're not far below them. Let's see if we can win. They went 13-3. They went 16-0 last year, too. And we lost that game. Kind of expected that to happen. The Jaguars are a rough team to beat. But let's check out the games. 40-18 against the Broncos is pretty good, but then 28-6 against the Jaguars. That was a big struggle fest. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I think this rebuild went pretty successfully. I think we definitely upgraded the Browns in a pretty realistic manner for, like, obviously none of these moves would probably happen in real life, but realistic in, you know, to my standards just means you can only trade for players on the trade block. You can trade up in the draft if you just kind of give a little more than you really would in a fantasy style of rebuild. And you can't make any like super blockbuster trades, any of that stuff. You can't cheese it like you can in a fantasy style rebuild. It's not like, you know, based off of realistic moves, because you have no idea what happens in the NFL. Jay Ajayi got traded for a 4th round draft pick, so you have really no idea. Anyway, though, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.